This goes out to all of the high school seniors. This one is for you. This is a message for you. Look forward to college no matter when it starts. If you're starting in the fall online, still look forward to it. Make the most out of it because you are the ones who are creating your own college experience, and you are the ones who chose to be in that college, and there is a reason for that. So no matter when it starts, how it starts, look forward to it and make the most out of it. Listen to these tips and advice with the feeling of excitement, with that feeling of hopefulness that you will gain this experience. So I asked a few of my friends who are in college as well, and I asked them about their experience overall, what they also learned, and some tips and advice for the incoming first years. I hope that you guys will enjoy it, and yeah.
I'd say at the beginning I was really nervous. Yeah, no, I was just scared to like live in the dorms because I was gonna be with a bunch of people I didn't know, except for my roommate who I only met like a couple months before. Uh, and then I thought making friends was gonna be hard because I was literally the only one from my college coming. Not from my college, but from my high school going to Seattle U. But that was actually the opposite. Like literally move-in week, I already had a friend group that was on my floor, so that was really cool.
I would say in the beginning it was a lot of homesickness, kind of like meeting new people was really, really crazy. And then towards the middle it got better when I started to like we started to get into nursing classes and we started to like meet new people through that. Um and then I would say like before we left, it was pretty good. The initial feeling of homesickness went away once I personally began to find like really good friends in the community.
My first year of college was pretty like crazy. I mean, like it was not what I expected it to be. Like I come from the Philippines, and it's just like we have parties and stuff, but like not quite in the same manner. And like dorm culture is something that isn't big here because everyone like lives near their schools, so everyone just commutes to school every day, and it's just like normal. But like dorm life is a lot better than I expected. I expected to hate it, like living in a tiny room with no space, not having your own bathroom, and it was amazing. Like you get to live so near to your friends, so you get to have lots of fun.
My first year experience was definitely super memorable. I think since I'm from the West Coast and I went to a college on the East Coast, it taught me a lot about like just being in like a different community like overall from the one that I've grown up in. Like the people that I met in college my first year were definitely like um the reason that I like had such a great experience for my first year.
The biggest growth for me was my ability to create and maintain strong relationships. It was always difficult for me. You know, I was homeschooled for 6 years growing up just so I could train for tennis. And so I trained with like a few people, but I was never really good at maintaining, you know, strong ties with the people I was training with. And so when I came to college, um, you know, my first 2 years, I was that guy who was, you know, friends with everybody, knew everybody, but didn't really have too many close friends. And so the biggest way I grew throughout college was by making those relationships more intentional, more of a priority in my life.
Trying to get out there for volunteering or research has really opened me up to be more communicative towards people and has helped me be more out there and outgoing. So.
Yeah, I guess one example would be I'm a lot more confident and able to advocate for myself. When I first came to college, I always was like comparing myself to other people and like relying on others to like what I think I should do. But over time, um, and like through my leadership positions, I really learned how to like reflect on myself consistently and really think about like what's good for me and what will make me happy and advocate for those things. How can I like grow from others but still like be strong in myself, if that makes sense?
The whole thing where people sit in like groups in high school, that's not really a thing in college. I mean, it can be at times in like in C Street, but like usually it's not, and people won't judge you for just like going in by yourself and like working on homework over like some food. And it's like completely different in that way because you don't feel the pressure to sit with people. Like you can just sit by yourself and like nobody's gonna like look at you any differently, which is kind of nice compared to like high school. Like depending on where you go, a lot of the people are from the same background as you, so it's like you're all kind of similar in a way. But in college, it's like there's so many different people and they have so many different perspectives.
I feel like in high school, you want to conform to whatever is trending or whatever is cool. And in college, you really get to take a hold of your own life and choose like what you want to do and who you want to be with, and just be yourself.
It was like a culture shock, but academically. You know, it was more because we are in quarter systems at UCI, so it was very fast paced than the normal semesters that we are used to. The material is more dense. You know, you have to get on it. There's no time for procrastinating. And since it's quarter systems, you're evolving to like different teachers' teaching styles. So you have to constantly like adapt to that. Whereas in high school, you have time to adapt and everything. And in terms of tests, you know, in high school, they give you study guides, they give you prompts and everything to help you for the test. But in college, they just give you the material and they're like, study. That's all you got to study. And then you got to hope that what you did is enough for like the midterms or the test.
Adjusting was, well, the thing with Philippine culture is it's very, very, very westernized. So we all have the same stuff. We all have Twitter. We all have Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. And we all speak English here. So when I got there, it wasn't a problem compared to some of my other peers who were non, like, where English was not their first language. But like adjustment wise, as long as you like you keep an open mind, you know, you keep an open mind to like the culture, to like American culture, like uh then it will be fun. Like there are lots of weird things which are just purely American and you're just like why, and and you just have to go with it.
The biggest change from moving from West Coast to East Coast or like coast to coast was that like I wasn't able to like see my family as often since like I guess like that kind of fed into like the homesickness aspect of it. But like at least for me personally, like I always like FaceTimed or called my parents like at least like once a week.
The adjustment to living on your own is I think it's a very steep hill, but like once you learn to like, I don't know, just like learn to live on your own, it gets a lot easier really quickly.
I would say at first I had trouble dealing with it because I was like, I just wanted to go home so badly just because I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. But eventually just kind of reaching out to people and being my most outgoing self while still not being super, not being like my fake self, I guess, just like being more of my outgoing self, helped me to make more connections between a lot of people.
Definitely look forward to meeting, hopefully, a bunch of different people, because in college, it's obviously going to be people coming from multiple locations: Hawaii, Oregon, Nashville, like international kids, you know, Philippines. You're going to meet so many different people from different places, which is so cool because you get to learn about their culture, you get to learn new personalities. One tip I would give to the freshmen is to reach out. Try to like join those class of 2024 stuff and try to look through the people and see kind of what their vibe is, and if you kind of match it, then reach out, you know.
What I'd recommend to freshmen when they get back is, I think, maybe feel like as if it's fall in winter or fall in spring or something, or fall in fall. You know, if school gets pushed back to next year, I mean, like in-person class gets pushed back to next year, just feel as if it's your first time there, because honestly, it is your first time there.
I don't know. I feel like just once you start making connections, like, which sounds like really weird, but like once you start making connections, like you see those people everywhere, and like they just become a part of like your daily routine just because like the school is so small and you guys will have like know the same people and have the same friends. Like even though like you might not share all the same like friends, or like you might be part of like another friend group, like people will keep coming up in your life, and it's like so nice to just like be grabbing a coffee and like be able to talk to someone, or like be getting food by yourself and like find somewhere to sit with your friends. um yeah, I just feel like the school and like the closeness and like community of it all is just something to look forward to.
Obviously is unfortunate and sad. You know, I didn't get to say proper goodbyes to all my friends that are graduating. I think that was probably the toughest part. But, you know, I really try to focus on the positives. And, you know, I believe like our brains have they're just so powerful, and like we see what we focus on. And it's so easy to, you know, get caught up in, you know, the negative things that are going on in our lives and the negative things that are going on in the world. But all that does really is just lead us in like a snowball effect of, you know, anxiety and, you know, doubts and fears. And so I try my best to, you know, ignore that and focus on like the things that are going well at this time, like the positive things. And so for me, that has been through a lot of gratitude. I think that's the biggest thing that's been getting me through this season. And the thing that's been protecting my mental well-being has been through journaling gratitude, you know, things that I'm grateful for on a daily basis. But not just the good things, but like the bad things, the things that I don't really see as ideal. And not even just those things, but like also the mundane and boring things also, because, you know, when you're grateful for everything in your life, it really changes how you see the world. And
Gonna be sad that like we won't have that time together to like and have the same like grad events that classes normally have. Um, but I kind of learned to like embrace this new like norm, like the new normal that we have to create for ourselves given our circumstances. And just realize the fact that we made it this far and we should be able to celebrate like what our accomplishments for the past 4 years, like even if we don't get to do it in like the way that people normally do, like we should still be proud of ourselves for everything that we've accomplished, and find little ways to celebrate that even if we are at home and like don't aren't having like a huge ceremony. Yeah, I guess another thing is just like embracing uncertainty. And I like watched Michelle Obama's commencement like speech to the class of 2020, and one thing that stuck with me was that life is always going to be uncertain. Like you're never going to have control over every single thing, but it's like what you do to manage that and navigate through it, and like take these moments of like our world is like falling apart and turn that into something good.
Yeah, be consistent with like coming to class and like reaching out to your professors, or like how you study and take notes, like stick to a system and tweak your system as you go along. But I think like consistency like keeps your brain like knowing what to do, and consistency always like also makes you a really good student, and your professors will be like way more chill if like you are reaching out to them and you're showing up and you're really trying your hardest?
So right now, I am a second-year biosci major at UTI. So if you are a biological science major, your second year is going to be tough. I'm telling you, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is tough. So I think my biggest tip for a biosci major is really learn time management. Because if you know how to manage your time, you can get everything done. You can try and like study, and then you can do like your activities.
For bio majors specifically, I would take advantage of tutoring and like office hours and literally like anything that's available, study groups, because they're free resources.
Nursing, I would say, yeah, again, do not give up, because you got in this program for a reason. You are worthy of being in this program. Bees are A-okay. Literally, people are going to be intense about it. You know, it's fine. Like, honestly, do the best you can, but B's are okay in nursing. Build those connections with people in your major, just because, you know, there'll be those people that they might, you know, give you a saline injection one day. You don't want to have those bad connections with people.
You'll get there. You'll get there. If I can make it to where I am now, you can too.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Oh God. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're doing it at SU, it's pretty chill. You don't have to worry about like anything. The really though, since it's a smaller major, the classes like specifically for the major are a lot smaller. So you'd have to like probably wait a longer time to get into a class that you need. The advisors, I'd say, are like super cool, and they're like really helpful, and they will get you in classes that you need.
For my tip for freshmen is for the lower division classes, the most like general ones like econ, try to take those concepts and apply it to what you want to do later on in the future. Like, let's say you want to own a business and you're learning about supply and demand. Well, think about supply and demand in your perspective as a business owner. How would you need those concepts to help you with your business?
I'm graduating with a finance degree. And my advice to folks who want to pursue finance or really business in general, you know, at Seattle U, there's a lot of overlap with the other majors. So my advice for business majors would be to get to know your classmates and build relationships with them. I feel like in most business schools, they're just very competitive. You know, it's like, oh, we're all fighting for the same internship, for the same job, the same pay, whatever that may be. But I found that my experience at Seattle U was not like that at all. Like nobody was competitive. And that was only because I chose to pursue friendships with all my classmates and, you know, kind of break down those barriers. And as a result, like we all didn't have that pressure of the competition in the back of our minds.
Since I was like in a new environment, that was very different from like where I went to high school. Like it was hard for me to like not compare myself with people like in terms of like academics, like oh this person's doing so well in like this one class, and like oh my god, like I don't know if like I belong in this program. Like I like definitely had those like doubts like in my first semester a lot, but I think that it's important to like not like get carried away with that and just like be focused on like your own success, because like if that's what you focus on, then like it doesn't really matter how other people are doing, as long as like you're accomplishing like what you need to do. Like I think that's the key.
So my advice for international students is like it's gonna be scary, but just approach it head on. Like there's no other way to do it. You're literally jumping into a new country, but there's so many opportunities by going somewhere else. You can learn new cultures. If there's something you don't understand about their culture, you just ask them. Like I don't think it's impolite to ask about cultural differences.
Everyone is super nice. Like even if they don't look super nice, like if they look intimidating,
Yeah, like
they're
me.
like super cool. Yeah, they're super cool, super nice.
Yeah, for any first years who are going to go out of state for their college, what piece of advice would you give them in order to like prepare to be out of their home state?
I would say definitely like find some people from home because you can kind of connect in like the same culture of where you're from, especially from like Hawaii, because there is a certain like culture if you were born and raised there. And even just like living there for a bit, it's definitely different from the mainland. But then also kind of meeting new people can help you balance your comfort of home with also like new perspectives. So I definitely think that moving away is hard, but finding people who are from your home, but also from like new places that are out of state that you guys can share, like that you're far from home as well, can kind of build those connections of like, oh yeah, like I understand, and you know, like different perspectives on how you view certain things.
Don't like close any doors, especially first quarter. Just if there's any opportunities to meet new people or anything, just go for it.
Just go with the flow, honestly. Like, not everything's gonna be perfect, and I don't know. I had to learn that the hard way. Like, right now, and I guess my biggest like advice to these to those of you who are like actually going to college soon is I guess just um you're here, you made it. Like hopefully this is like the worst thing that you're gonna have to encounter during college, and like after this, if you like when you do like survive this, then no amount of bullshit is gonna like derail you from that.
I just want to give a big thank you to everyone who participated and who really opened up about their experience and gave all of these amazing tips and advice for the incoming first years. So first, if you're watching this and you were in this video, thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot. And I hope you learned a lot from everyone. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Leave a like and comment down below. Subscribe.
Dude,
And
Carlos, you're so known for
hit the bell icon.
that.